what I mean? If you're 20 and really skinny, they go, fuck off, mate. But I can go, you're all right, you're all right. Go on. Whoa! Be careful, Claude's around the corner. Do you do that? Do you sort of be a bit more working class, a bit tougher with, like, people in boiler suits? All right, mate, yeah. Not too bad, yeah. Got a cup of fucking tea? Like that. Anyway, I wet myself. Good. After I came back, I told my friend about the wee incident, and my friend went, oh, you should have gone commando. What? That would have been less embarrassing, wouldn't it? So now I look down, I think, oh, I've wet myself, what can I do? Oh, I know, they're coming off too. That's as dry as a bone, Doc. Should have gone commando. Do commandos not wear pants? Why is it they must wear pants, don't they? Yeah. Why aren't you wearing pants? What? I'm a commando and I'm wearing pants. I've never heard that phrase before. I've never heard that phrase. They're going to see that. A little bit. Should have gone commando. But I am a little bit overweight myself, and I never worried about it before I was famous. And I'm not vainer now. It's that you read about yourself, and the papers need an adjective. They can't just say, Ricky Gervais, comedian. They say things like, Ricky Gervais, tubby comedian. Why say that? Why? Don't give them clues. Let them make their own minds up. One said, rotund comic. Rotund? That's like a giant wombat. I'm not rotund. I've been referred to as a chubby funster. That's a gay porn star, isn't it? It's me, the chubby funster. I was jogging once with my iPod. Yeah, looking good. Paparazzi got me. Full page in the Sun the next day with the headline, iPodge you. Cheeky bastards. Dawn French has had a go at my weight. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. French and Saunders Christmas special last year. I love French and Saunders. I think they're great. I've liked them for a long time. I think they're really good performers. And I was watching this at home. Sketch comes on. Bubbly Dawn knocking on the door of a house. Inside is Jennifer going, who is it, please? Yes? Who is it, please? It's me. Who's me? Me. The little fat one with the big ego. She opens the door. Oh, I thought you meant Ricky Gervais. Good gag. No, it is a good gag. If you hand it out, you've got to take it. Comedians have a go, you know, it's fine. And she's putting herself down. She's lumping us both in. You know what I mean? She's saying, we both got egos. We probably have got egos. We're performers. Although, if Dawn was here, you wouldn't be able to see that. I'm joking. You'd be able to see some of it, wouldn't you? But it would spell Roy. Oh dear. She started it. No, she's putting us both down. She's going, we both got egos and we're both fat, and we are both fat. Different categories though, isn't there? There's different weight classes. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't tell the whole story. On a scale of too thin, average, bit fat, me, Dawn. She started it. It's not a disease. Therefore, it's not a worthy cause. Talking of which, saw someone collecting the other day for ME. Not MS, not the crippling wasting disease. Oh no, ME. That's the one where don't feel like going to work today. Ding, 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 ding. Oh. ME. I apologise to anyone who suffers from ME. You're not going to have a go, are you? No. I do apologise, because I've since learnt that it is a real disease. I thought it was psychosomatic, but it's physiological. And it's a very misunderstood disease as well, so it's easy to ridicule it. I suppose it's because the symptoms aren't apparent. It's not like losing a limb. They go, we're tired, and we go, well, how do we know that? And it sounds like a mollycoddling society that accepts this new disease that wasn't around 100 years ago. You know, you don't see it in third world countries. You'd never hear a starving African complaining about having ME. Do you know what I mean? Sucky. Walk to the well. This is not racist, okay? I don't want to have my perfume contract taken away like Jade Goody. It got madder and madder, didn't it, that Celebrity Big Brother? I mean, it started off well. Opening night, H from Steps comes out as gay, and we're all meant to go, you're joking. And his name's Ian Watkins. I was like, where's the H? All these years, that must have just stood for homosexual. He was trying to give us clues, wasn't he? He was trying to come out. What's your name? Or just call me H. It's not racist. Sucky. What? Delicate stuff, this. One false move and I'm Jim Davidson. It's all right. It's all right. Relax, I know what I'm doing. It's the accent, isn't it? And I'm not very good at accents either. I'm trying to do Nelson Mandela. So I'll give it a bit of dignity. He's sort of high, isn't he? He says things like, Winnie, what are you burying in the garden? It's not racist, it's fine, isn't it? It's an impression. People are very worried about that, aren't they? They go, is that racist? Can you say that? Well, you're taken the wrong way, particularly this year, because it's 200 years since the abolition of slavery, so awareness is heightened. But that wasn't the end of racism. It was still inherent in society as late as the 50s and 60s in England and America, and one incident sparked off the civil rights movement. But I discovered something. You're still learning. The first HIV virus was a combination... Yeah, why not? Big backlash, wasn't there? Big backlash. People going, you can't say that. You can. You can. I did. Yeah. The inevitable backlash, which made it the most watched special of the year. So, I've learnt my lesson. No, I have learnt my lesson, and that's why I'm going to be woke from now on. It's about time. Well, I'm sorry. Well, I am woke, and now I'm woke. The first thing I've got to do is change my Twitter bio. Because at the moment, it's like a list of the shows I've created. But now I'm woke, I've got to pop in the word anti-fascist. So people know I'm not a fascist. Because that is a big problem at the moment. People come up to me on the street and they go, Rick, have you been imprisoning journalists? I go, no. They go, oh, interesting. They go, have you been gassing Jews? I go, no. They go, well, pop it in your bio then, you silly cunt. So, yeah, I'm not a fascist. It's an odd thing to just declare, isn't it, that you're not a fascist? We assume, don't we? You wouldn't go up to someone on the street and do that, would you? And go say, oh, by the way, I'm not a fascist. You know, it's like they protest too much. It's like going into a school and going, I'm not a pedo, so just forget I even mentioned it. So these kids are safe running around me, don't they? Of course, the word fascist has changed. Traditionally, the word fascist meant a member of a far-right authoritarian regime that uses militarism and violence to suppress individual rights. Now, the word fascist can mean like to Joe Rogan tweet. So, words change, yeah? And that's part of the reason I'm going to become woke, is words change, and I don't want to be left behind, you know? I don't want to end up like my granddad in the 70s. Oh, he was all like, coloureds this and queers that. Oh. Although the word queer is all right again now. So if you wait long enough, it just goes full circle. Just be patient is my... So yeah, you can use the word queer. Now, you still can't use it as a noun, only as an adjective. You can't go up to someone and go, "You're a queer," but you can go, "Hear about Darren? He's queer now." If Darren is definitely bent. You can't go around just slagging off Darren willy-nilly. Do you know what I mean? You can get sued in this country for saying someone's gay if they're not, you know, which is a homophobic law, because you can't be sued the other way around. You can't be sued for saying someone's not gay if they are, which seems unfair, doesn't it? Like, I could go up to Britain's biggest gay and go, "All right, Alton," all right? And he'd love that. He'd fucking love that. If that's your game, you want to be top of the pile, so to speak, right? I'd go, "All right, Alton." He'd go, "Yeah." I go, "Ha, ha, 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 you're not a gay." He'd go, "I bloody am." He'd go, "I'm going to sue you." I go, "You can't. You can't." He'd go, "But know that I am gay." I go, "I don't believe you are." He'd go, "Well, come on with me and see the shit I do if you don't believe me." Of course, the word queer has changed. Again, traditionally, the word queer used to mean someone who was attracted to the same sex as themselves, a gay man. Now, the word queer can mean a straight man who wants some attention. I'm all queer now. Are you? Yeah, I'm right queer now. I am. Are you? Yeah. What about your girlfriend? Yeah, she's queer and all. We're just two queers queering each other up. Suck a cock? Nah. No, didn't think so. I'm not that sort of queer. What sort of a queer are you? Dyed my hair blue. So did my grandmother, and she fucking loved cock, so what are we saying? I have no evidence for that. We never had that conversation. Right? Again, traditionally, that was the politically correct term, the all-inclusive term for cripples and shit, right? But then they went, "No, we want to be disabled." They didn't want to be disabled. They said, "We want to be referred to as disabled. We don't like the term handicapped anymore. Stop using it. Say disabled." And we went, "Okay, fine." And that's great. Just tell me the rules. And in fact, I'm a stickler for the rules. Like, if I was on a beach and a woman came running up and went, "Help, help, my handicapped toddler's drowning," I'd go, "Sorry, you're what, love? What?" "My handicapped toddler's drowning and he can't swim." "Whoa, do you mean your disabled toddler is drowning?" She go, "Yeah." I go, "Right, well, let's..." Oh, dead. Wasted too much time being woke, didn't I? Well, I am woke now, and we've established you can't even choose your own thoughts. How often have you been on a train station and you've suddenly thought, "What if I just pushed that bloke?" And then you go, "Why have I thought that? Am I a psychopath?" No, you're not. You're the opposite. You're a safe pair of hands. You're testing yourself. You're reminding yourself how terrible that would be. You're a good person, right? I don't get that one. What I get is I'm talking to a really sweet old lady and I suddenly start thinking, what if I just spat in her face now? Why would I... Another theme of the show has been words change and I'm woke, haha. But here's the irony. I think I am woke, but I think that word has changed. I think if woke still means what it used to mean, that you're aware of your own privilege, you try and maximise equality, minimise oppression, be anti-racist, anti-sexist, anti-homophobic. Yes, I'm definitely woke. If woke now means being a puritanical, authoritarian bully who gets people fired for an honest opinion or even a fact, then no, I'm not woke. Fuck that. Ban it from the number one everywhere. My name trended for 3 days that Christmas. I wasn't the only comedian who trended that Christmas. Do you know the comedian Rosie Jones? She's got cerebral palsy, and she was on a TV quiz show, and the trolls came out on Twitter going, she's not funny. People saying, you're only saying that because she's disabled. You're only defending her because she's disabled. If I met a racist paedophile, I'd go, fuck the little black ones too, you bigot. You know? Slag off actors, who's scared of actors? But when it comes to a big dude, right, I'm not. So this show is called Armageddon, and it's all about how I think humanity might end, because there's a long list of possibilities, you know. We're on a precipice, you know. It could be anything from global warming, the rise of the pandemic, you know, nuclear war, our own stupidity, basically. Because we are getting more stupid as a species, no doubt about that. You can now do a university degree course in Taylor Swift. How fucking low academically can you go? There's an institute in London called the School of Flower Arranging. I went past it, I couldn't believe it. School of Flower Arranging. I looked in, and there's people having lectures. Flower arranging. My mum used to pick flowers every day from the garden, cut flowers, put them in vases around the house. At no point did anyone come round and go, what unqualified cunt did these? Yeah, the Earth is in a terrible mess, and it's my fault, my generation's fault, and the generation before, the boomers, with their deforestation and their fossil fuels, ruining the ozone layer, raising the temperature by a few degrees, so parasites, you know, bacteria, and these zootropic pandemics are just going to get worse and worse. Like, if you're 20 years old now, you're going to have a very different middle age to me. I've had the best 60 years of civilization, right? But if you're 20 now, in 40 years' time, you're going to be in your house wearing a mask, crying. Like you do now over jokes. And I'm not going to be around to see that, but I am going to spend my entire fortune from now on private jets to make sure it definitely fucking happens. We're going to be the first generation that future generations are jealous of, right? Because we had it all, and we're using it all up. We're using up all the fresh water. We're using up all the fossil fuel, right? Usually you look back in history and you feel sorry for it. You go, oh, how did they live like that? Oh, how did they get around? No indoor toilets. I've got 9 Homo sapiens. We've been around as hominids for a few million years. And of course, along with every other life form that exists at the moment, we've been evolving for 3.5 billion years. Everything that exists at the moment all came from the same little blob of organic matter 3.5 billion years ago. That's why it annoys me when people say, oh yeah, humans, we're the most evolved. We're not the most evolved. We're no more evolved than the slug or the snail. People go, oh, come on, look at them. Yeah, they got it right early doors. Nature keeps testing them. Do you want eyes? No. Not really. No. I have noticed one thing about the slug and the snail. Let's not split hairs, let's be honest. The snail is basically a slug with a shell on it, isn't it, right? But if you pull the shell off the snail, it starts giving it all, oh, I'm dying. And the slug is like, welcome to the real world, cunt. You know? So yeah, we've been around for about 300,000 years, and for most of that time, we had the same life expectancy as every other wild ape, 35, 40, if you're lucky. You're born, you grow, you mate, you're playing with your kids, you get a cut, you go, oh, what's that, dead? Right? But now with antibiotics and medicine, we've pushed that forward. A child born today can expect to live to about 100. And scientists said soon that'll be 120. And science also said that in the near future, there's no reason, with proper care and attention, that human beings won't regularly live to 150 years old, which is amazing until you remember that we get a set number of brain cells, right, which we only lose. You can't get them back. So in the future, there's going to be 15 billion people on the planet, you know. Half of them are going to be over 100, and they're all going to have Alzheimer's. It's going to be like Dawn of the Dead. It's going to be fucking horrible. My auntie died of Alzheimer's. I don't know how you die of Alzheimer's. She forgot to live. Right? And for the last couple of years, she was in a home, And my cousin, her only kid, used to visit her like once a week, and it got more and more depressing because soon she didn't recognise him, and then she didn't know who she was, and then she died. And at the funeral, we were sort of reminiscing about the good days, some of the funny, absent-minded things she said and did, and we realised, probably that was the beginning of the disease before it was diagnosed. And this is a true story. Once, my cousin went home from work, and he went in, and she went, "Your tea's in the oven. I've had mine already." He went, "Oh, cheers, Mum." And it was like a fish pie, right? He ate the fish pie, and he went, "Oh, God." And he ran upstairs, vomited, went back down and went, "Mum, the fish is off. I've just been really sick." And she said, "Yeah, it made me really sick." I don't know how humanity will end, as I say. There's a long list, everything from, I can't believe nuclear wars back on the table, after all we've learned. But I think maybe the rise of the pandemic, where parasites and microbes and bacteria and our antibiotics fail, or maybe those things that happen, but we're sort of evolved through it. Like, we'll find out there's pockets of sort of mutant people around the world that are slightly resistant to radiation and slightly resistant to microbes, and we'll sort of start again, because we don't really understand the mechanism of human evolution since civilization, because it's never been based on, survival of the fittest, where fittest meant just the biggest, strongest male gets to pass on his genetic material. There's other paradigms, right? Nature is brutal. Sometimes it is the biggest, strongest male that gets the female, and even then, she has a litter. If there's a runt, she goes, "Fuck it, kill that, eat it, share it out amongst the rest of us." Now, we don't do that in human society. We go the other way. We spend more time and care and attention on the weak and the vulnerable to give them a chance. Like, if you're a father and you've got 2 kids, you've got little Timmy, who's 6, right? You've got Jack, who's 8, and you go to little Timmy, you go, "Timmy, what do you want for Christmas?" And he goes, "Motorised wheelchair." I promised Jane I wouldn't do the voice, and I fucking forgot. It's too late now, isn't it? "What do you want for Christmas, Timmy?" "Motorised wheelchair." Right, well, they start at $2,000, so fucking hell. "What do you want, Jack?" Just a tennis racket, please, Dad." "Oh, good lad. How is your tennis?" Best in the school." "Oh, you good lad." "Also a ramp." Fuck me. So now we're doing fucking building work at Christmas, are we? Fuck me. "Oh, sorry, Jack, can't afford your tennis racket. We've got to spend all the money on a ramp and a motorised wheelchair for this money-grabbing little fucking..." "Why do you need a motorised one?" "No arms." That's fair enough. That is fair enough. I can tell some of you feel a bit uncomfortable laughing at little Timmy, who's a little 6-year-old lad. He's got a funny little voice because his chest is all fucked. Got no arms, no legs, just like stumps, right? But let me tell you something about Timmy to make you feel better about yourselves. He's a fucking racist. Yes. Horrible little shit, he is. You little fucking bigot. You disgusting little fucking racist, you racist scum, you filthy little fucking, you fascist, you fucking, you disgust me. Homophobic? Yeah. He's like, "They're not like us." Nothing's like you disgusting little fucking, you prejudiced little piece of, you ball of hate, you disgusting little fucking racist homophobe. I wish we'd had a scan. You absolute, misogynist. If he could, he'd rape. There's your little Timmy. Some people don't think we evolved in the first... Harold Shipman knocking round. Do you know what I mean? Those of you too young to know who Harold Shipman is, right? He is our most prolific serial killer, right? He killed 300 people. He killed old people. That's my point. He'd have his eye on me, go, "Oh, give him a few more years." And he was a doctor, right? But the reason you haven't heard of him, right, is because he never appears in those lists of the worst serial killers. And he was Like one of the worst ever, but he didn't act like a serial killer, right? He was a GP, he was old school, he had a little shirt and tie, little tweed jacket, little beard, little glasses. He'd do house visits, he'd go around to see Edna, 85. You all right, Edna? Yeah. Do you want a cup of tea? Yes, please. And he'd make Edna a lovely cup of tea, right? Then he'd just put her in a lethal amount of opioids, right? And he'd just give Edna the tea and watch her drink it and fall asleep and die. And that was it. He didn't even masturbate. You know, yes, it is a waste, sir, yeah. And they reckon he got the idea when he was a little lad, Harold Shipman, little Harold Shipman. He watched his mum dying of lung cancer, being given morphine, and somewhat triggered him. He thought, I'll grow up, become a doctor, and I'll do this. I don't know whether it means that he liked the way the morphine got his mum out of pain. So these were like mercy killings, like, you know, reliving the kindness. Or the opposite, he was jealous of old people who lived longer than his mum should have, so he was punishing them. I don't know, doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter, because if you can really understand... I was doing an interview a while ago. I don't think the journalist liked me. He asked me this question. I thought it was rude, right? So I gave a fake answer, right? He said, so what have you got planned for your funeral? And I went, I want to be fed to the lions at London Zoo. He went, really? I went, yeah. I want the zookeeper to take up my big, fat, dead, naked, bloated body in a wheelbarrow, right? Just dump it in the lion's den, doof, like that. Loads of tourists going, is that the bloke from The Office? Like that, right? And then 2 big lions come out and just start eating me. And lions, they start with the soft bits of the body to get inside to the rib cage. So they'd probably get a testicle each, wouldn't they? Because that'd be the easiest of it. By then, my testicles would be about a yard apart, so that'd be easy. They just start eating towards me. Like Lady and the Tramp, really romantic. So I said that as a joke, but he totally believed me. So much so that when he was writing up the article, he called London Zoo and asked them if that would be allowed, and they said, no, of course not, right? So when the article came out, the headline was, London Zoo refused Ricky's request to be fed to lions. Like I'm a fucking psychopath. My point is, you can't worry about what happens after you die. I looked up one film on here, Schindler's List. Absolutely real. Schindler's List, doesthedogdie.com. Right? First question, does a dog die? No. Does a cat die? No. Are any animals abused? Someone answers, there is a chicken that's handled roughly, but otherwise unharmed. Now, I love animals more than anyone I know, but if I was Jewish, I'd be slightly offended by this avenue of questioning. Imagine that in real life. Imagine someone says, oh, yeah, my grandparents were murdered by the Nazis. You go, oh, what happened? Oh, they were dragged from their house and sent to the gas chamber. Oh, was a chicken hurt? What? But as I say, it's become, you can ask any question about anything. Someone says, is there child abuse? Is teeth damaged? Is there a hanging? Does someone struggle to breathe? Yeah. Well, yeah, yes. Someone says, does someone fall downstairs? Who's scared of slapstick? It's like... Anyway, so this website was founded in 2010, so it's run about 13 years, right? And the later questions start reflecting the times we live in now, and they get more and more fragile and narcissistic. These questions were asked this year. Check it out, Schindler's List, right? Someone says, are there any fat jokes? Would that make this worse? Well, imagine the real thing. Imagine I'm in a concentration camp, right? I'm naked, everyone around me is naked. We've got a commandant herding us towards a gas chamber, and he goes, move it, fatty, right? And I go, rude. No, that has ruined the whole experience, if I'm honest. Someone asks, is there hate speech? Yeah, there is. Suck it up, Buttercup. Are there any man in a dress jokes? Very few jokes. If you come to this film for a giggle, you're going to be very disappointed. But this one takes the biscuit for me. Remember, this is a movie set in the 1940s about arguably the worst atrocity in civilized human history. Check this out. Is someone misgendered? Fucking hell. This is quite sweet. Is there any anti-Semitism? Yeah. This is pretty much the mother load, right? Forget Kanye. This is off the fucking charts. Don't do that when you're talking about this. Fuck's sake. I was doing the graph. I'll do it like that. This is off the charts. That's... Wouldn't things have been different if that was Hitler's salute? 10 million Chinese paedophiles in China, and there's not enough kids. Because they've been restricting the birth. There's all these poor pedos, and they're going, where's all the fucking kids? Like, you know, fuck me, we're having to double up here, and... I just thought of a joke then, I can't do it. It is actually too offensive. Okay, all right, I'll do it. But remember, you can't choose your own thoughts, okay? And I just had this thought, right? Chinese paedophile goes up to a little Chinese kid, and he goes, do you want a puppy? And the kid goes, I'm not hungry. You made me do that. You committed the hate crime. I'm woke, I forgot. Let me get back on track, right, I've got a woke joke, right? You remember those jokes we used to have when we were kids, like doctor jokes, like, doctor, I keep thinking I'm a pair of curtains. Well, pull yourself together then, right? I've done a woke version of that, brought it up to today's standards, right? So, bloke goes to the doctor, he goes, doctor, I keep thinking I'm a pair of curtains. And the doctor goes, well, you are then. Good than that, isn't it? I should do political stuff now I'm woke, but I don't like it when a comedian just spouts his own political views and it relies on the audience agreeing with him to get a round of applause. I think that loses something comedically. I want everyone to like my jokes, whatever your political persuasion. A joke shouldn't have a political wing, you know. I'm political in my private life, like everyone, you know. Like, I'm sometimes incensed by the inequalities in our society. We're in the 7th richest economy in the world, right? And there's homelessness. There's 250,000 homeless people in Britain. Now, I wish there were no homeless people, because they're fucking horrible. Isn't they? You know, oh yeah, right next to the fucking cash point, you cheeky cunt. It is a serious problem, and I hope none of you ever find yourself homeless, but if you do, my advice is heroin. Cheers you right up, apparently. I've got one of those mates. My mate said this to me in all seriousness. He said, but the thing about heroin, Rick, he said, some of the greatest albums of all time were created on heroin, weren't they? I went, yeah, but they were created by some of the greatest artists of all time, weren't they? You're a plasterer, right? If I were to give you heroin, you wouldn't come up with Dark Side of the Moon, would you? You'd fall asleep watching the telly and burn the fucking house down. I should do topical stuff, but I never watch the news. I did see one thing recently on YouTube, actually. Do you know the little fella from Game of Thrones? The actor, Peter Dinklage. Do you know Peter Dinklage? Yeah. He was at a junket, and it was for a new thing he was doing, right? And they were filming it. That's why it got leaked onto YouTube. And I don't know what brought it up, but he suddenly started going off on one. Someone, oh, God. He was going, it's fucking disgusting. They're still doing productions of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. For Christ's sake, it's fucking demeaning. It's 2023. He wasn't happy. He was grumpy, wasn't he? He's got a point now, hasn't he? Obviously he's got a point. But the thing is, it's all right for him, because he's a multi-millionaire Hollywood actor, and he's a great actor as well. He does Shakespeare and everything. A lot of dwarves in entertainment aren't that great. No, some of them are fucking... They're props, right? No, let's be... They're lucky to be fired from a fucking cannon, right? And so... dancing around Snow White for 3 weeks of the year, that is their like holy grail, and he's going to fuck it for them. If he takes that, what can they do? And he's not saying you should do Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs with normal size actors. You can't do that either. You get in trouble for that in Hollywood, or you can't take a dwarf's job or a disabled person's job. Like Eddie Redmayne got in trouble when he played Stephen Hawking in the biopic, The Life Story of Stephen Hawking, right? Won an Oscar for it, and that's when the backlash started. People going, no, it should be played by a real disabled creature, all this... Right? And they're going, the actor should have the same disability as the person they're portraying. But it was the life story of Stephen Hawking, right? So for the first part of the film, the cunt could walk, right? So I put it to you, what is easier? Getting an actor who can walk, pretend he can't, for the last bit of the film, or get an actor who can't walk, pretend he can for the first bit. How would that even fucking work? Puppetry, think. You can't always find an actor with the same disability as the person they're portraying. They're fucking actors. What if they did a biopic of Helen Keller, the deaf, dumb and blind girl? Well, what's the chances of finding a deaf, dumb and blind actress who can play that role? And if you did, you go right into the director and go, we found a deaf, dumb and blind girl. What did she say? She didn't even answer the fucking phone. Oh, don't get me started. Oh. Cultural appropriation. Have you heard of that? Cultural appropriation. The latest no-no. Now, again, in my day, it was considered a good thing to swap ideas with other cultures, with other nations, to share things with other races, to assimilate. It was the opposite of racist. Now it's racist. Gwen Stefani got in trouble in her last video because she had her blonde hair in dreadlocks. People go, no, black people invented dreadlocks, you can't have them, you're white, that's racist. Jamie Oliver got in trouble when he put out authentic jerk chicken recipe. People go, no, black people invented that, you can't have it, you're white, that's racist. Now, black people, they use the N-word, don't they? We invented that. That's the one, isn't it? That's the one. Listen, I know white people are the worst. I know that. That's why no one likes a fucking white middle-aged man anymore until we need a boiler fixing. Then it's get the bald bloke round now. Critical race theory, have you heard of that? Being taught in schools now, particularly in trendy areas like LA, right? Just like 5-year-old kids and 6-year-old kids. If you haven't heard it, in a nutshell, critical race theory says that all white people are racist. It says that we're born racist and we continue to be racist because we're affording the privilege of a racist society set up by our forefathers, okay? So basically, all white people are racist and there's nothing we can do about it, which is a relief. I think the world's going to get harder and harder to understand as I get older and more bewildered. A new dogma arises in the name of progress. Now, dogma is never progressive, however new and trendy, but I think soon I'll be outnumbered. And it was only this year that I ordered my first item off Amazon. All the way through the pandemic, Jane's like, bang, things are arriving, we need this, bang, it's here. Right? And I was going, oh, and she goes, it's easy. I go, I never liked real shopping either, hated real shopping, particularly clothes shopping. I hated clothes shopping when I was young and thin. I really hate it now I'm fat and old, right? Once, a shop assistant thought I had my inside leg and my waist measurement the wrong way round. I could see her thinking, do you have an orangutan, sir? No, it's for me, you cheeky... Yeah, I never like real shopping, but I don't trust the internet either. And Jen was going, just put in your credit card. I don't want to have my credit card details. She went, everyone's got your credit card details. Just put the number in. I went, what one? She went, the long one. She went, oh, fuck me, give it here. There, you're on. Order something. So I thought, oh, I don't want anything. Oh, tracksuit bottoms. You can't have too many. I wear mine till the bollocks fall out, right? So I put in men's tracksuit bottoms, black, zip pockets, about 38. Oh, fuck me, they look all right. Size chart. I go, well, they'll be a bit long, but they'll be a bit tight. I thought, $9.99. I thought, oh, fuck it, who cares, right? So I ordered them. They came the next day. I opened them up. they were shit. Now, I don't know what sweatshop they were made in or what little 8-year-old Chinese kid made them, but he should be fucking punished because And I was looking at where to fucking complain to get him fired, right? And I found out that these kids only get $2 a day in these fucking places, right? But what happened to pride in your work? Do you know what I mean? And I could tell, some of you are thinking, oh yeah, but he didn't think Ricky Gervais would order them. Well, no, but maybe you should be told there's a chance that Ricky Gervais might order them. His owner should sit him down, right, and say, if Ricky Gervais orders these and complains, I'm going to rape your mummy again. Was that too much? Sorry. No. Leave it with me. Leave it with me. You'll realise this is great satire when I'm dead. So, I don't know how humanity will end, as I say. There's a long list, everything from, I can't believe nuclear wars back on the table, after all we've learned. But I think maybe the rise of the pandemic where parasites and microbes and bacteria and our antibiotics fail, or maybe those things that happen, but we're sort of evolved through it. Like, we'll find out there's pockets of sort of mutant people around the world that are slightly resistant to radiation and slightly resistant to microbes, and we'll sort of start again. Because we don't really understand the mechanism of human evolution since civilization, because it's never been based on, you know, survival of the fittest, where fittest meant just the biggest, strongest male gets to pass on his genetic material. There's other paradigms, right? Nature is brutal. Sometimes it is the biggest, strongest male that gets the female, and even then, she has a litter. If there's a runt, she goes, fuck it, kill that, eat it, share it out amongst the rest of us. Now, we don't do that in human society. We go the other way. We spend more time and care and attention on the weak and the vulnerable to give them a chance. Like, if you're a father and you've got 2 kids, you've got little Timmy, who's 6, right? You've got Jack, who's 8, and you go to little Timmy, you go, Timmy, what do you want for Christmas? And he goes, motorised wheelchair. I promised Jane I wouldn't do the voice, and I fucking forgot. It's too late now, isn't it? What do you want for Christmas, Timmy? Motorised wheelchair. Right, well, they start at $2,000, so fucking hell. What do you want, Jack? Just a tennis racket, please, Dad. Oh, good lad. Oh. How is your tennis? Best in the school. Oh, you... Good. Also a ramp. Fuck me. What, so now we're doing fucking building work at Christmas, are we? Fuck me. Oh, sorry, Jack, can't afford your tennis racket. We've got to spend all the money on a ramp and a motorised wheelchair for this money-grabbing little fucking... Why do you need a motorised one? No arms. That's fair enough. That is fair enough. I can tell some of you feel a bit uncomfortable laughing at little Timmy, who's a little 6-year-old lad. He's got a funny little voice because his chest is all fucked. Got no arms, no legs, just like stumps, right? But let me tell you something about Timmy to make you feel better about yourselves. He's a fucking racist. Yes. Horrible little shit, he is. You little fucking bigot. You disgusting little fucking racist, you racist scum, you filthy little fucking, you fascist, you fucking, you disgust me. Homophobic? Yeah. He's like, they're not like us. Nothing's like you disgusting little fucking, you prejudiced little piece of, you ball of hate. You disgusting little fucking racist homophobe. I wish we'd had a scan. You absolute, misogynist. If he could, he'd rape. There's your little Timmy. Some people don't think we evolved in the first place. Some people think that God made us all at once in one fell swoop and by himself. I think if he'd had a wife or a mate, there'd have been questions when he was working, wouldn't they? Be like, what are you doing? Creating man. Oh, what's it got? What do you mean, what's it got? Has it got, like, claws and fangs and shit? No, not really, no. Oh, has it got poison? No, no poison. Oh, has it got armour, like spikes and shit? No, no armour. How will it survive? It's got the best brain in the animal kingdom. It'll work stuff out. It'll create weaponry to take down beasts 100 times mightier than itself. It'll wear their carcass through the Ice Age. It'll go through famine. It'll go through world wars. It'll eventually start getting scared of words. But... for 10,000 generations, it'll be top dog. Oh. What are they? His testicles. Oh. What are they for? He keeps everything in there. His seed, his DNA. Well, shouldn't have a political wing. You know, I'm political in my private life, like everyone. You know, like I'm sometimes incensed by the inequalities in our society. We're in the 7th richest economy in the world, right? And there's homelessness. There's 250,000 homeless people in Britain. Now, I wish there were no homeless people, because they're fucking horrible. Aren't they? You know, oh yeah, right next to the fucking cash point, you cheeky cunt. It is a serious problem, and I hope none of you ever find yourself homeless. But if you do, my advice is heroin. Cheers you right up, apparently. I've got one of those mates. My mate said this to me in all seriousness. He said, but the thing about heroin, Rick, he said, some of the greatest albums of all time were created on heroin, weren't they? I went, yeah, but they were created by some of the greatest artists of all time, weren't they? You're a plasterer, right? If I were to give you heroin, you wouldn't come up with Dark Side of the Moon, would you? You'd fall asleep watching the telly and burn the fucking house down. I should do topical stuff, but I never watch the news. I did see one thing recently on YouTube, actually. Do you know the little fella from Game of Thrones? The actor, Peter Dinklage. Do you know Peter Dinklage? Yeah. He was at a junket, and it was for a new thing he was doing, right? And they were filming it. That's why it got leaked onto YouTube. And I don't know what brought it up, but he suddenly started going off on one. Oh, God. He was going, it's fucking disgusting. They're still doing productions of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. For Christ's sake, it's fucking demeaning. It's 2023. He wasn't happy. He was grumpy, wasn't he? He's got a point now, hasn't he? Obviously, he's got a point. But the thing is, it's all right for him, because he's a multi-millionaire Hollywood actor, and he's a great actor as well. He does Shakespeare and everything. A lot of dwarves in entertainment aren't that great. And so, dancing around Snow White for 3 weeks of the year, that is their, like, holy grail, and he's going to fuck it for them. If he takes that, what can they do? And he's not saying you should do Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs with normal size actors. You can't do that either. You get in trouble for that in Hollywood, or you can't take a dwarf's job or a disabled person's job. Like Eddie Redmayne got in trouble when he played Stephen Hawking in the biopic, The Life Story of Stephen Hawking, right? Won an Oscar for it, and that's when the backlash started. People going, no, it should be played by a real disabled creature, all this... Right? And they're going, the actor should have the same disability as the person they're portraying. But it was the life story of Stephen Hawking, right? So for the first part of the film, the cunt could walk, right? So I put it to you, what is easier? Getting an actor who can walk, pretend he can't for the last bit of the film, or get an actor who can't walk, pretend he can for the first bit. How would that even fucking work? Puppetry, think. You can't always find an actor with the same disability as the person they're portraying. They're fucking actors. What if they did a biopic of Helen Keller, the deaf, dumb and blind girl? Well, what's the chances of finding a deaf, dumb and blind actress who can play that role? And if you did, you go right into the director and go, we found a deaf, dumb and blind girl. What did she say? She didn't even answer the fucking phone. Oh, don't get me started. Oh. Cultural appropriation. I mean, they've been trying to cancel me for about 15 years, and they've always failed. And often the people trying to cancel me have been other comedians writing for the posh papers, doing that thing they always say, he's punching down. Well, comedy should punch up. We only punch up. We punch up. Their idea of punching up, they have a go at Boris Johnson. How the fuck is that punching up? You know, the cunt is learning disabled. He's like this fucking waterlogged Gary Busey, fucking albino Eggman thing. He can't string a sentence together. Have you heard him talk? He's like, he's a fucking moron. I punch up. I have a go at people like, I don't know, Stephen Hawking, right? Yes, the greatest brain that's ever lived. He can take it. And he wouldn't even have minded when he was alive, because he's part robot, isn't he? I think he's basically a talking chair, so you can say what you want. And he was on Epstein's Island, apparently, so fuck him. I don't... What was he doing there? Why do I want to go? Why? Why do I? He's like just there doing fuck. I would go, what? I know pedos who'd kill for a ticket to that. And he's just taking up a space. It's probably DEI or something. And they go, we need one. Like, I'll go, what are you doing here, Steve? He go, I'm thinking weird shit. Fuck off. That is probably a hate crime. That is. It's a big buzzword at the moment. Because I was reading about the tough time dwarves have had through history. Like, in medieval times, they used to torture them and kill them. They used to put them in barrels with spikes and roll them down the hill for a laugh, right? And then in Victorian times, they'd stick them in the circus and make them do dangerous fucking things. And then as late as the 1980s, right, I remember colleges used to have events like dwarf throwing, where they were like darts on a thing, or dwarf bowling. And eventually someone said, what the fuck are we doing? Can we stop making dwarves do shit for our entertainment? And it stopped. And now it's back. Now they're in the Special Olympics. Now they've got, they're going, let's race them. And let's throw them in the water and see if they can swim. They can. So it needs a bit of work, that one, doesn't it? I don't know. People don't realise how much goes into one of these tours. My last tour, I did 60 new material nights. Then I did like 25 work in progress shows. Then I did an 85-day arena tour around the world, honing it all the time. One critic sat at his kitchen table, said, lazy. He called me immature and vulgar. Four-eyed cunt. I'm at that age now where everything annoys me. I get about the Golden Globes is always, was someone so angry about what you said about them, they came up to you afterwards and want to throw, and I always go, oh God, no. I wouldn't even say if that had happened, because I don't like gossip, to be honest, right? There was one guy I thought took it the wrong way, right? It wasn't a bad... No, the cameras went to him, and I'm not in control of the cameras, so I think he was caught in the headlights. It was Elton John, right? But it wasn't a bad joke. I was introducing Madonna, okay? And I later found out that him and Madonna were in this feud, and he hated being mentioned in the same sentence as it. But I didn't know at the time. I was confused, right? And it wasn't part of the monologue, but I'm there for like 3 hours, right? And now and again, the stage manager put her head around the door and go, do you want to introduce so-and-so? And I go, yeah, fine. And I come out and I either do it straight or I ad-lib. And this was little ad-lib because I saw Elton in the front row, right? So this was the joke. I came out and I said, our next presenter is the Queen of Pop. Not you, Elton. Sit down, right? And it sort of went to him, he sort of went... And I was like, oh, fuck, he hated that. And I was thinking, why is he... I said, oh, God, do you think I'm homophobic? Oh, I'm not homophobic. There's always in my head. Then I thought... He must have heard worse, right? In the 1980s, right, when Elton John was in the closet, he wasn't out, he was married to a woman, right? He was also chairman of Watford Football Club. And he and his then wife would go along and watch Watford play, and the entire crowd would sing, don't bend down when Elton's around or you might get a willy up your arse. Which puts my little quip into perspective, doesn't it? I don't know how football fans know how to start at the right time in the same key. Do they hand out sheet music before a fucking... We're doing Willy up the arse in C. Jeff's doing a solo. They get a traditional tune so everyone knows it, and they change the lyrics. Some genius changes the lyrics, right, to be as offensive about someone or something or somewhere or whatever, right? So the tune they used to use, I remember it, it was that old Cockney knees up song. My old man said follow the van and don't dilly-dally on the way. Do you know that one? Remember the term dilly-dally? They use it very creatively in their version, right? So this was their lyric. It was the 80s. It's not politically correct, I apologise, but they're football hooligans. What are you going to do, right? So let's analyse their genius lyrics, right? This is what they used to sing. Don't bend down when Elton's around, or you might get a willy up your arse. I mean, you might. Not necessarily his, but, you know, like mathematicians amongst you would have to go, yeah, there's a slight... Like, if 1,000 people bent down when Elton was around, one of them might randomly... Someone might come off a bicycle and go, sorry, like that, and they oh, fuck, and the scientists will go, one. Do you know what I mean? There's a slight... Also, when Elton's around, that's ambiguous. That could fit... Like, you could have two gentlemen having anal sex in a hotel room, right? And then the next day they find out that Elton John was staying in the next room. They go, oh, I got a willy up the arse when Elton was around, you know? I'll give him that, anyway. Don't bend down when Elton's around, or you might get a willy up your arse. He has the nerve to call us dear. We all know he's a fucking quill. Sorry, right? And he goes, he dallies and dillies. They've reversed it. Why? He dallies and dillies. He plays with people's willies. Again, I don't know what play with means in this context. It could be like, wow. It could be anything, couldn't it? I thought you were going to suck it. No. He dallies and dillies. He plays with people's willies. He's up every arse in town. I'd stop him there. I'd go, no, you know, that is provably false. He's not up every arse in town, is he? We can prove that. Right, take a small town. Take Watford. 120,000 people. He is not up 120,000 arses, is it? I mean, half of them are women, so 60,000... tops, right? And I don't think he's been up 60,000. And if he has, good luck to him, but that's not my point. This is my point, right? What did his then wife think of that? Because he's in the closet, right? You know, and she's just married Elton John the Pop. She couldn't be... She's in love. She's so proud of him. Elton John, and he's chairman of Watford. She goes like, I'm married Elton John the Pop Star. I'm married to Elton John the Pop Star. And then the entire crowd sing, don't bend down when Elton's around, or you might get a willy up your arse. She must have gone... Why are they singing that out? I've just, I said earlier, I've never had a joke stopped by the Golden Globes, and that is absolutely true, but I've just remembered a joke that I stopped myself, because I bottled it a bit, and I think I was being overcautious. I want to share it with you, right? So, I got the chance to introduce Jason Momoa. Do you know who Jason Momoa is? Yeah, right? So I thought the meta joke would be to show my hypocrisy and my cowardice. Like, I'm okay to slag off actors, who's scared of actors, but when it comes to a big dude, right, I'm not so brave. So I was going to go, I've got nothing bad to say about our next presenter, because he's got a cock like a baby's arm, right? And I told my mate I was going to do that, and my mate went, do you think people think that's racist? I went, why is it racist? He went, well, because he's a person of colour, and I went, no, but it's nothing to do with that. It's to do with the fact that he's so big that he'd probably have a cock like a baby's arm, right? So I didn't do it. And I had a great follow-up as well. I'll tell you the whole thing. This is the whole thing. This is what I was going to do, right? Right. So I go out and go, I've got nothing bad to say about our next presenter because he's got a cock like a baby's arm. Unlike Peter Dinklage, who's got an arm like a baby's cock. It's great to hear this sort of laughter again, because you probably don't notice it as much as comedians, but we've had a really weird 10 years where we're really second-guessing, going, is that okay? I don't know what people could find anything offensive, but we pushed back and we won, so fuck them. Until the next time. They haven't gone away. I looked up one film on here, Schindler's List. Absolutely real. Schindler's List, doesthedogdie.com. Right. First question, does a dog die? No. Does a cat die? No. Are any animals abused? Someone answers, there is a chicken that's handled roughly, but otherwise unharmed. Now, I love animals more than anyone I know, but if I was Jewish, I'd be slightly offended by this avenue of questioning. Imagine that in real life. Imagine someone says, oh, yeah, my grandparents were murdered by the Nazis. You go, oh, what happened? Oh, they were dragged from their house and sent to the gas chamber. Oh, was a chicken hurt? What? But as I say, it's become, you can ask any question about anything. Someone says, is there child abuse? Is teeth damaged? Is there a hanging? Does someone struggle to breathe? Yeah. Well, yeah, yes. Someone says, does someone fall downstairs? Who's scared of slapstick? It's like... Anyway, so this website was founded in 2010, so it's run about 13 years, right? And the later questions start reflecting the times we live in now, and they get more and more fragile and narcissistic. These questions were asked this year. Check it out. Schindler's List, right? Someone says, are there any fat jokes? But now there's factions of people go, oh, no, we got it, we don't like it, we've changed our mind, it wasn't going well for us, we don't like free speech anymore. People who want free speech, they only want free speech so they can go around saying awful things, which just isn't true. And even if it was, the good thing about free speech is people can say awful things back. It's a really good system, right? And you can't say anything under the laws of free speech. That's a total misconception. There are loads of caveats to free speech, all of which I agree with, actually. You can't incite violence. Good rule. You can't slander people. Good rule. You can't libel people, you know? Fascinating fact about libel law. You can't libel the dead. So I could stand here and say, Gandhi used to take it up the arse. If I wanted. Which I do. But free speech is the most important human right there is. It's the right from which all other rights come. Without free speech, you couldn't have human rights, you know, and we've got free speech, in theory, in this country, for a little while longer. We can criticise the government, we can criticise the police, but we should give props to a country that allows us to do that, because we're the envy of some countries. In some countries, you criticise the police, you get beaten up, or worse. You criticise the government, you can be thrown in jail for life, you know. So they flee their oppression, quite rightly. You know, so would you. They flee their oppression, and they come here, they go, we want to come to England. We go, why? They go, free speech. We go, come on in, welcome. What are you going to do now? We're going to go on a march. What are you going to say? How shit England is. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. That is their right. Have a great show. And as I was leaving, I saw one of the other lawyers lean in and show this head lawyer his iPhone, and the head lawyer went, oh yeah. He went, oh sorry Ricky, can you come back a minute? Right, so I'm there, I went, yeah. So he had the phone there. They'd looked up the word minge. I thought I'd gotten away with it, right? So it's now like I'm getting told off. And the head lawyer said, now it says here that the word minge is a derogatory term for female genitalia. I went, well, yeah, it's a slang word for vagina in England. You don't even use it here, do you? He went, no, we don't, but we go out around the world, and with due diligence, now we know it's derogatory, we'll have to bleep that word live. I went, don't bleep the word, like, because people at home won't know what I've said. It'll ruin the... I said, it's literally the punchline. He said, if it's derogatory, I have to... I said, well, what word could I use that you wouldn't bleep? And he went, well, you could say vagina. I went, I'm not saying vagina, right? Anything funny about it. It's so clinical. I was thinking, Judy Dench at home going, why is he talking about my actual vagina, right? I said, minge isn't like that. It's like, it's not so specific, because vagina's so... Where's your vagina? There, right? Where's your minge? There. It's like... Then one of the younger lawyers went, what about box? I went, I'm not fucking saying box, mate, right? So much for looking at your own box. Right? I said, minge is perfect. I said, people won't know what... If they're American, they won't know it. I said, it's not offensive. It's like... I said, kids use the word in England. Right? They weren't having it. So I said, what about flange? Right? So they looked up the word flange, right? And he went, well, that'd just be confusing, because in America, a flange is a part of a sink unit. I went, oh, well, I said, please let me say minge and don't bleep it. I was really rooting for minge. Right? It was like 12 Angry Men. I go, no one's leaving till I can say minge. Right? after about 10 minutes, I wore them down. Whatever, said, oh, that won't work. So I was going, please, I said, I'll write them. You won't get any complaints and all this sort of... And eventually the head lawyer went, okay, you can say minge. I went, and you won't bleep it. He went, no, we won't bleep it. I went, you promise? He went, yes. And I left. I knew they would. And they fucking did, right? So, when I said minge, I pointed. Oh, why do you like London so much, Rick? Because you get a round of applause for not shitting yourself. Right. But that's the next phase now. I reckon it's the next 10 years that I will. But as of now, my arsehole has never let me down. Very underrated, the human arsehole. Everyone goes, oh, the human brain, the greatest computer known to man. Or the human liver can regenerate itself. Your arsehole is working 24/7. Even when you're asleep, it's like that. You're not coming out. You're not coming out. You're not coming out. Nope. You're not coming out. And you're not coming in. Oh. Because it's like a sewer in there, isn't it? But you've got a lovely little manhole cover. Think of that in real life. Walking along a pavement, it's lovely pavement. If that burst, and you know what's in a sewer, don't you? Piss and shit and cum and dead goldfish and fetuses. In China, just the girl ones. Relax. I'm at that age now as well, because I'm in entertainment. People say, oh, you can have a facelift. I go, no. Have you seen facelifts? They're still just that. Like that. You know what I mean? You go to the doctor, and the doctor goes, do you want to look old or Chinese? You know, it's like... Nothing wrong with looking Chinese, if you're Chinese. If you're not Chinese, it's a bit weird. It's offensive. Why is that allowed? You're not allowed to black up. It was considered a good thing to swap ideas with other cultures, with other nations, to share things with other races, to assimilate. It was the opposite of racist. Now it's racist. Gwen Stefani got in trouble in her last video because she had her blonde hair in dreadlocks. People go, no, black people invented dreadlocks, you can't have them, you're white, that's racist. Jamie Oliver got in trouble when he put out authentic jerk chicken recipe. People go, no, black people invented that, you can't have it, you're white, that's racist. Now, black people, they use the N-word, don't they? We invented that.